Yo, what's good, fellas? Now that chapter 3 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex has dropped, it's getting a little deep, man. We getting into the nitty gritty. We getting to the meat and the potatoes. Everything is starting to come unveiled. I made a video talking about Boruto's secret S rank mission. If you guys want to check that out, make sure you guys check it out. The link to that is in the description below, as well as the Discord link. I'm gonna leave the sub Discord link. I'm gonna open it back up for this video. I'm gonna leave that in the description as well. You know, make sure y'all go down there and check it out. So now we got the Uzuhiko. It's been revealed. I talked about it in the chapter 3 recap. Go check that out. Uzuhiko is probably the best Rasengan yet, because not only does the effect of the Rasengan never go away, it literally never goes away, but it imbues the Earth's rotational force inside of your body. So now you just fucked up. So now we already said Code is finished. But now it's looking like it's overkill, because not only did Boruto use him to get Ten Tails information, but now Code's gonna have to die a slow and painful death. It's only a matter of time, fellas. It's only a matter of time. So without further ado, shout out to my boy Simply Troy. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel in the description below. Make sure y'all go check him out. Leave a like on this video and that video too, like I always say. And let's get into the video.
Hello everyone, now with a new chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, not only showing us how powerful Boruto is within his base, but also just what he's had up his sleeve.
And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that Boruto could just take on no limit Code, right? No limit Code with Karma activated, and he's just still in base. That's the craziest part about all of this. We haven't even seen Boruto get serious yet. He hasn't used his Karma. I don't even feel like he's been on edge yet. Code can't even make him feel like he's on edge. No matter what you throw at him right now, it's just looking like he's just no different everything. So we really don't know the extent of Boruto's power, because we haven't seen him go all out yet. Even if I wanted to make a power scaling video, I really couldn't. I really want to wait until someone at least makes him try, you know?
He's during the time skip and what he's been training for. A lot of questions arose when during his Uzuhiko reveal, due to even my own admission, it being pretty confusing. But regardless, they did do a good job at explaining the technique. Now, starting off, before we get into just how powerful it is, we need to know exactly what the Rasengan Uzuhiko is. It is a special variant like the Rasen Shuriken of the Rasengan that has absorbed the chakra and rotation of the planet that Boruto is now on, and can not only implant this inside of you by touch, but also if you make any contact with Boruto, the Uzuhiko wind will be implanted within your body as well. So
one thing I did find out in the chapter, it might have not been winds for say, but maybe just rotating chakra. Like this right here might just be like spiraling chakra, not like winds. But either way, it's overpowered. He just encased the whole Rasengan into his body. So at this point, it's just chakra. It's just rotating chakra. But the chakra is rotating so fast, it just looks like wind. And like he said, it is like a Rasen Shuriken, but on a whole different level.
Basically making Boruto both the offensive and defensive peak of what we've seen in Naruto. He cannot be touched without being damaged, and he also cannot touch you without damaging you, regardless of if you're stronger than him, because this bypasses durability. We see this when Code attempts to grab Boruto, but is just taken over by the Uzuhiko Rasengan. This jutsu, while it's stored inside of you, Boruto can choose to detonate it at any time and kill you because of his passive internal damage, or he can keep it going and not have it kill you.
I thought it just keeps going forever. I know he can rescind it. I don't think he has any control over it whenever it like reaches inside of his body. It's all about him just taking it out. So the power, it just keeps going. He doesn't have any control over it. Once it's in you, it's in you. Pause. He could probably use this on anybody in the verse right now. As of right now, they could introduce somebody totally more powerful than Code next chapter, and we don't even have nothing to say. So right now, it's looking like he can use this against anybody, because Code is probably top 3 in the verse right now.
The only way to stop this jutsu is to destroy the planet, as that it's had its rotation taken over by the Rasengan Uzuhiko. This jutsu also makes the person taken over by it so dizzy and confused that they lose all sense of direction.
Yeah, one more thing though. I said in the video, I think I said in some video, that the jutsu will stop if the planet stops rotating. But I think all Boruto's trying to say here is that the power will never dissipate, just like how the planet will never stop rotating. So Boruto's not saying, oh, if the planet just stops rotating, then the jutsu will stop. No, he's saying the jutsu won't stop, just like how the earth won't stop rotating. So he just ceases to say, no way the earth stop rotating. And I think that too. No way can anybody in this verse make the earth stop rotating. So I just think that's an impossible feat, like Boruto's saying. So the jutsu will never dissipate. There's no way.
Jutsu also makes the person taken over by it so dizzy and confused that they lose all sense of direction, causing them to not be able to hit you or even track you properly.
Can't even stand up.
Code's attacks seemingly pass through Boruto, and his text bubbles and speech are also slurred and disorganized, basically giving a sort of drunk or non-able to fight type of effect. Another property of this jutsu is how basically it's durability negation, as it attacks the inside of your body, and in Naruto and most verses, you cannot train your organs or the inside of your body. Now, yes, Code is a cyborg and pseudo-Otsutsuki, but none of that leads credence to him training his insides or his organs being inherently more durable, as the gentle fist is still something that Otsutsukis use, and those do internal damage. It also, of course, has outside AP, but of course Boruto held back this to not kill Code, both the internal and external damage, because he still needs Code to lead him to the Jubi. Now that we know what it is, we just need to...
It can still be applied, but when he said he didn't expect him to still be standing after that attack, it either implies like, okay, Boruto thought the jutsu was gonna unalive him completely, or it could be like, you should be so dizzy, you shouldn't even be able to stand right now. So either of them is acceptable right now. I'd like to think Boruto held back so Code can lead him to the 10 tails. That's why I said, like, okay, it was all part of the plan, and then Boruto implants a Kashin Koji frog onto him to follow him or something, or he summoned it himself. Well, I think he might have just, they already had the plan. Kashin Koji gave him the toads. He said, you know what? Once you make contact with Code, or, you know, as soon as that Rasengan Uzuhiko makes contact with Code, then the transfer happens. Then the toads are going to be implanted into Code's shirt or whatever, and then they're going to follow him. So I think that was already the plan what Kashin Koji and Boruto already had going on. Or maybe Sasuke was there too. Or it could have been like a plan B, like, okay, Boruto thought Code was just gonna tell him where the 10 tails is if he just forces it out of him. But plan B, Code's being ignorant, so let's just tail him. Either way, I think Boruto did hold back. There's a world where Boruto held back that attack just to see if Code was going to retreat, and it worked out.
Find out how strong is it in crossverse or AP scaling terms. Now, a lot of fans have tried to downplay this by misinterpreting what it is and saying, oh, Boruto is planetary and base, and this is his cap and ceiling, and he no longer scales to Kaguya or Naruto or any of the high tiers that were previously established within the Naruto universe. But that is false. While multiple Naruto characters are planetary in base, this feat is not only planetary and certainly doesn't cap out at it. Let's get into the debunks. So firstly, Damon comments on how this attack and says the earth is shaking, basically saying that the Rasengan Uzuhiko that Boruto uses causes the entire planet to shake or the ground to shake. Whichever
now, when he said this, that changes everything, because I was like, there's definitely different terms of planetary, because Naruto's Rasengan, it is considered planetary. I can say that. Like, he even has an attack called planetary Rasen Shuriken, but then Boruto's attack is planetary and it makes the whole earth tremble. So that leads me to believe there's different tiers of planetary. Does that make sense? Because an attack can affect the planet in some way, but it might not have enough AP, or one attack may be able to take down at least like a quarter of the earth, while another attack could just blow up the whole earth. Each attack is planetary, it's just which attack could do more damage.
One doesn't really matter. This makes people say, or casuals say, oh, since it only shook the earth, or that's what we see it shake, it must be planetary and only planetary. Well, no. Just like how if an attack from, let's say, Goku or Naruto, since those are your favorite power scaling fighters within anime, doesn't shake the earth, we still scale their power above planetary, because them and the rest of their verse can not only control their DC, but they can control their AP, and they don't have to affect the entire planet once they use attacks. The same is said for the opposite. So if you were to shake the planet, this case Boruto, we could say, oh well, this is planetary, this is moon, or this is multi-continental, but we don't. Why? Because remaining logically consistent, we could say this isn't his ceiling, because the same logic we use for Goku and Naruto, that he has better scaling outside of this, is the reason that we then scale these feats above what's demonstrated right now, I guess AP wise. Because we know why the attacks don't destroy planets and don't destroy universes. It means that it's not that level. That's just caveman thinking. No one thinks that way anymore, and that goes against the entire logic and definition of attack potency and destructive capacity. While destructive capacity does show a minimum of the attack potency that the user can use, attack potency doesn't have to be equal to destructive capacity. For example, people like Kaguya have the expansive truth-seeking orb that can destroy whatever you want to say the realms are, planets, stars, solar system, universes. doesn't really matter. She has the DC to destroy these rounds. With someone like Naruto, since he can damage her and compete with these levels of power, while in the AP or very contained attacks, Naruto may not have the DC to just outright Rasengan away an entire dimension. We don't say since he can't do this, he's not this level. We simply say he lacks the destructive capacity, but since he's fighting beings on this level with beings using these AP attacks and durability of solar systems and stars, he can still dish out that same level of power.
It's just different tiers. Like I said, it's just different tiers of planetary attacks. Like every attack can be, like certain attacks can be planetary and they can control how much attack power they dish out. It's just the tier of how powerful do you want your attack to be. Power scaling planetary attacks isn't difficult until you start comparing them with other planetary attacks. Then you gotta be like, who did he use it against? And how much damage did it output on that person? The context always matters in this case.
Since you guys love to scale Goku and Naruto, they don't shake the planet with all of their attacks, and we still scale their power above planetary. Because again, they can control the destructive capacity, i.e. the AP. The same is true for the opposite. Yes, even if it shook the planet, we could say, oh well, this is planetary or moon level, but that does not mean that it caps out at that. I can't stress this enough because most people think once something is stated at a certain level, it has to be that level. If something isn't said that it is maximum planetary, then we can't just assume that that is the limit that it has, especially if we have evidence for the contrary.
So I don't know if we have any evidence to prove that Uzuhiko is above planetary right now. It could be universal. But I see what he's saying. It's like Boruto just put out enough power to unalive code. He could probably put more power into it, just like a Karma Amp. Like if it was Karma Amp, it might have been the universal. We don't know. So I'm not gonna say Uzuhiko caps out planetary. That's just wrong for me to say. Like Boruto wasn't even going all out. Karma activated, no types of amps. Didn't even seem like he was even going serious. And it was still making the earth tremble. So let's say he was going up against like Ishiki or somebody. He would of course output more power. But is there evidence of this? It's a little evidence. It's a little bit of evidence, but no clear cut, okay, yeah, 100% confirmed.
Most anime disputes and power scaling disputes would just be let off if people remained agnostic and tried to not make a claim on everything. Now, to give some in-manga or in-universe explanations and examples of this being on display is when we have Goku in Dragon Ball Super. Despite being well above universal since the Battle of Gods arc, in the Moro arc he still only shakes the planet, and Moro's attack is gonna state it to be blowing up the galaxy, despite again being a universal being. Do we now downscale Goku to only planetary? And do we now downscale Moro to only galaxy level? No, because while this is the DC of these set attacks, and while he is going to destroy only the galaxy, that does not mean the AP of his attacks aren't still able to damage and put forth this universal type power and energy. Another big example.
Also, I don't know if using Goku, I understand using Goku as an example in this scenario, but we know what Goku's capable of. We would never just look at Goku just shaking a planet, but like, oh yeah, he's only planetary now. You know, we already know what Goku can do. We don't know what Boruto can do. It's only been 3 chapters. He's a new character. You know, he's not the old boy, you know, he's a new character. Let's just say that he's a new character. We just have to wait and see what he can do. Now, the attack can be more than planetary. We would just have to wait and see. As of right now, there is evidence to support that it could be stronger, but at the end of the day, we would have to see it. Because it's obvious, like, Goku doesn't have to go 100%. He doesn't output 100% Kamehameha every time he does the move, you know? We already know how powerful his strongest Kamehameha is. So we see him do a regular Kamehameha, and it doesn't even shake the planet. We're not gonna be like, damn, bro, he's gotten weaker. No, we just know he didn't output that much AP into that Kamehameha. So we still have to see what Boruto can do.
Example is the Dragon Ball Supercast being able to be damaged by Moro's planet attack, or him using the energy of a planet to attack Vegeta and Goku, and these attacks actually having an effect on them. This is because although they are universal in durability and attack power, the power of the planet is being greatly amplified by Moro himself, by not only his ki but his magic as well. And natural energy in general in most anime just work much more differently than, let's say, ki or magic alone. This is again just to say, never put a cap on abilities that don't have a cap stated, and you just have to learn to interpret a little bit. I know people don't like
people gonna do that anyway.
Don't like staying agnostic, but
they love controversy.
You just have to remain agnostic. It's perfectly fine. Not everything needs to be explained all at once. Now that that's out the way, let's attack what the scan actually says. So it's Boruto using a Rasengan from his chakra and the planet's rotation, and the chakra all being amplified by his Rasengan. So using the downplay logic, it would have to be above by definition because the chakra and ninjutsu amplifies what chakra can do on its own. The Rasengan specifically in this analogy and example is the thing that is absorbing all of this power, rotation, and chakra and amplifying it. Boruto is 100% Otsutsuki and is trained a lot. So even if you were to say, oh, he's using just a planet amount of chakra, you would have to be also conceding to the fact that it's super amped by what Boruto can do normally. Another example being, if you believe Naruto just has a tiny fox within his body that can destroy a couple forges, maybe a planet at max, but you still also believe he scales to Kaguya, it is because he's taking this fox level of power that can destroy a planet and amplifying it so much so by his multitude of hacks and abilities and forms that he has that it's now able to destroy a being who can blow up a star or blow up a universe, whatever you scale Kaguya to.
Yeah, so all the chakra is like a medium. It's up to the user itself to determine how powerful the attack is itself. And like I said, Boruto's in base, and the attack is already planetary. I guess we could all agree on that, right? I guess if you want to go to that logic, Uzuhiko has the potential to be stronger than planetary. I'm not gonna cap it out anywhere because we haven't seen Boruto going crazy yet. Nobody could push him to that level yet. We can't say it's universal. It could be more powerful than that. Like I said, you can't put a cap on these attacks until you see how powerful it is with Boruto at his max power.
Smaller amounts of chakra are taken all the time to create a reaction that's so much more powerful than what's put into it that multiple characters in Naruto just go out of their way to explain this very concept that I am today. In the Rasengan Uzuhiko example, this is basically the same concept with, of course, far more chakra both in potency and volume because Boruto is way stronger than Naruto, and Boruto also just has Otsutsuki levels of chakra. Yamato even says simply changing even the nature or form of a jutsu makes the jutsu far stronger, and the Rasengan alone is stated that the fourth honed its form to the utmost and highest degree. Both of these simple changes to this simple jutsu making it far stronger as a result, and to far surpass what nature can do, such as what the forests and rivers, springs, and lakes that they're gaining their power from, none of which can destroy stars, planets, solar systems, or universes, but by amplifying it with ninjutsu and amplifying just the chakra within their body, they are both stated and shown to have reactions far greater than what's put inside of them to make it. Basically, in simpler terms, you can amp up small amounts of chakra to make it much stronger and much more potent. This is a concept within almost every single battle shonen, and a concept with Ki within Dragon Ball is what Naruto takes heavy inspiration from, and Boruto takes heavy inspiration from. What makes what Boruto's doing even more crazy is we know how chakra control and shape manipulation of a jutsu in simple terms can make jutsu far stronger than what they originally are. We learned this from Yamato with the Rasen Shuriken training and just throughout all of Naruto.
Yeah,
Boruto
definitely.
is not only taking this hyper-condensed earth, nature, energy, and chakra, which we know is condensed because Momoshiki said just the chakra alone, the pure weight and amount of it on earth was ripping tears through space.
So, bro, imagine that. Do you know how powerful Boruto can make a vanishing Rasengan now? Just by that logic alone, Boruto could just take a vanishing Rasengan. And y'all know how the vanishing Rasengan is. Once it disappears, it's gone. You can't trace it. That's why Momoshiki didn't even bother to blow it away. He thought it was gone. There's no trace of the chakra. Add lightning nature to it, it's gone. It disappears. Make contact with you after it disappeared and just have enough power to blow up like half a village or something. Nah, that would be one of the most overpowered moves. And at that point, I would have to say, if you can catch your opponent off guard with that, that can be the most powerful Rasengan we've seen yet. Even surpassing Uzuhiko. Because at least like you can see Uzuhiko, you cannot see a vanishing Rasengan. Like, it's that powerful. I think Boruto's went through enough training, so he should be able to do that now. Am I wrong? It's just a guess. It's just a theory. But I'm just saying he should pop that out again.
We learned that in the anime, and that's why basically
there's no way they threw away that move, bro. That move is so useful.
16 or 17, I believe. So Boruto is taking this far above planetary power and far above normal planets' condensed nature energy and manipulating its shape and power with chakra control, amplifying its abilities far superseding what Naruto could ever do with his Sage mode or any Sage. This feat is above what Kaguya did to manipulate nature, and also what Hagoromo did to manipulate nature. Boruto, without the use of Sage mode, I'm assuming because he is 100% Otsutsuki, and Otsutsukis just by nature are in tune with the nature around them and can use it to amplify their abilities, he's able to replicate and far surpass all of these feats. That's just even more evidence that this is not just a planetary feat and far surpassing it, scaling above what the high tiers can do normally. Now moving on, regardless of it again not ever being stated planetary because that's what people are making up, or is it supposedly being a AP feat, it is an attack that Boruto both held back in AP both internally and externally. That code didn't have any external damage from what we see on his actual person in the chapter, so it doesn't contradict any scaling whatsoever. Whatever you scale Naruto high tiers to, whether it's Star, Solar System, or Universal, this feat doesn't debunk nor contradict anything. Because again, you cannot train your insides, especially in Naruto, it being stated and shown with some of the highest and most advanced beings within the Naruto universe, not having any defenses against organ level or inside body.
So he just wanted to hit him with the attack.
The final statement is, to sum it all up, this doesn't contradict any scaling. This also doesn't downscale the verse. This is mostly a hex technique that still scales the AP when they want it to and also causes internal damage that makes the opponent unable to hit you. This is also base Boruto, who isn't trying at all, so probably isn't using a lot of chakra as well. And for what all it means, this is also respect to code for enduring these internal attacks and also not taking any external damage from Boruto whatsoever.
No external
Boruto does
damage.
clearly scale above code as he's holding back and still beating him up. It doesn't seem like code is just getting, one shot by these internal attacks. So if you were to have someone cross-verse that maybe did some attacks that targeted the
He is a cockroach, bro.
They would have to use a lot more to put down.
He's very durable.
That being said, when you are interpreting a scale chain or any scaling whatsoever, please be mindful what the scan or manga actually says, because I can't stress this enough. Nowhere in the single chapter that released this month does it ever say this is a planet level attack.
They're not going to tell you, though. They're not going to tell you if it's a planet level attack. You just gotta have to take the hints. Everybody thinks it's planetary because they say planet like maybe 6 times throughout the whole chapter. It makes the earth tremble. It takes in the rotational force of the planet. So people are just putting 2 and 2 together. It's damn near planetary. And if he said it was holding back, it's definitely planetary. At that point, it has to be. So that's what I think. I still think it's planetary. Hey, you could say what it is. It could be more. Or let's just say this. I think it's planetary and up. I'ma just say it like that. So anyway, appreciate Simply Troy for the video. Like I said, make sure y'all go show him some love. Man, Uzuhiko, damn. Bro, this man Boruto, bro. This man Boruto, dog. I don't even know when the next chapter comes out. I don't know. If you guys know when the next chapter comes out, put it in the comment section below, bro. I don't know. They didn't tell me. Does it come out on the 20th, like the same? I don't know. But anyway, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you are new to the channel. And until my next video, I'm out. Peace.